Frizzy Static Hair. Kia ora. Hello world. How are we? Madeline Lee here from Radiostigma. Just going to share the live and we're going to do some messages today. It's been a few days since I have come live. Been having some me time, which has been beautiful. Got to go out on the boat and have some cuddles, chill out, have some self-nourishing time. This camera's a bit crooked today, all my tripod is, but that is totally okay. We're going with it today. If you're joining me on the live or the replay, feel free to say hello. My hair is really staticky. Check a yes please into the comments if you would like a message today. I actually have an hour, but I'm just going to start with I have 30 minutes to pull some cards, intuitive messages today. Before I go to my herpes support group that I host each month in New Zealand, which is incredible. So if you would like a divine message from universe, your angels, your guides, God, whatever you name your connection, whoever you talk to, if you would like a divine message today, pop a yes please Maddie into the comments. Otherwise, we will start with some collective messages. We have 2 decks here today. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Madeline Lee. I'm an intuitive healer, mindset mentor, expressive dance coach, and herpes support person or advocate. The sun is shining and it is beautiful. Let me know how you're also feeling in all this changing energy. There has been... I've been feeling like I've been swaying one way and the other. Last week I was super vibrant, super in my energy, super explosive and I suppose, in my high vibe. And then this week it's just kind of like... That's the only way I can describe it, is like it's just kind of tapered off, and I've just been like, oh, I just want to sit here and I want to do nothing. I want to do nothing at the moment. I just want to sit here, have cuddles, eat food, watch movies, do nothing. And that is quite weird and not normal for me. Generally I'm go and go. So let's pull. This is, I think I showed you one deck. Which one did I show you guys? Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. First deck. And then the other one we have today. This is so my fave. The Shaman's Dream Oracle. I was just holding this like this. I mean like this way. Kia ora, Katie. How are you, beautiful soul? Yes, you are most welcome. I'm going to start just by pulling one collective. Actually, it jumped out at me. And then we will definitely pull you a message. Unmarked Trail. Revelation. Lighting's not good. I'm just going to turn the other light on. Hang on. Oh. The light in this room is a bit stink unless the sun's super shining. 57. Unmarked Trail. Revelation. Maybe you can see it. It's better if I go like that. Let's have a little look at the message of this today. Green heart chakra, baby. What number are we? 57. 114. An unprecedented experience, discovery, revelation. You are called now to embark on a sacred journey. The Arthurian knights, in their quest for the Holy Grail, had to make sure to take an unmarked trail that no one had ever followed, or they would not accomplish their goal. Likewise, you must enter the darkest forest of your soul via a route as yet unidentified to find what you seek. The manicured paths will bring you only temporary pleasure and later great pain. Stop it. You already know there is no reward at the end of the road you are following. You are only killing time. Pause, breathe, and commit in your heart to a sacred endeavor. Vow to not look for old solutions that may have worked with past challenges. Get out of character, try the outrageous, and keep your quest private. Now is not the time to speak of the voice that called you to embark on the unmarked trail. That time will come. The unmarked trail can be a sign that you have already made a choice, even if you do not want to acknowledge it. Be at peace with what your heart knows to be true. Your heart has already been made up, and your mind will follow. Pack lightly, taking with you only essential beliefs that you know to be trustworthy. Under all circumstances, the universe has your back. Powerful card to start with. Right, Katie, are you still here, beautiful? We will pull you some messages and see what comes through. I think I'm on a boat, Katie. I'm swaying. I just feel like I need to sway. I'm not sure if you have been on a boat. I'm like, no, you haven't. It's like, no, not on a boat. But it's almost like, are you feeling seasick, or are you rocking? Is it a rock of comforting self? I don't know. But I just feel like straight away. 29, Katie. Horned cactus. Resourcefulness. Resourcefulness, Katie. Yeah, the rocking is definitely, I'm not sure if there's something significant in the rocking for you, Katie, today. I don't, like, is there something significant, like, have you been, and it might not be physically, like, it might be, have you been tending to yourself or someone else internally, emotionally, almost, like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's almost like, it's like rocking a baby to sleep, or like to comfort when a baby's been screaming or crying. So comfort and safety in some way or form. Like, I just feel like rocking like I'm on a boat, but it's not about the boat, if that makes sense. There's some like I don't even want to stop. I'm like, I'll just it's like my body is just like, yeah, resourcefulness. I don't know how to describe these, but at the top of this horned cactus, resourcefulness, the top here, Katie, there is like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if there's an actual word for it or something someone else may know, but I don't know the word for it. There's like almost little flicks of like, you know how you have like light language and different bits and pieces visually that you can see, etc. But up here, where the cactus, there's like little flicks or little flickers of like pattern or light, almost like wispy bits of like, you know, when you see something floating in the wind, like cotton or something that's come off clothing and it like flies around in the wind kind of thing. Like here you can see just little wisps and shapes of it, like even up the top here, like little, and it's different than the clouds. It's like, you might be like, yeah, Maddie, like I can see that, but like what do we like, what is that meaning? What does that have to, it's almost like today, Katie, that's a message of like all the little bits intertwining, you know, when you're like, and now I'm getting like cotton or clothes, or like, I don't make clothes, I'm not a sewer, but it's almost like, you know, all the threads, how they like intertwine with each other when we make clothing, or when someone makes a piece of clothing or something like that. It's almost like we need every little wispy bit that's flying around in your life and your emotions and your healing and who you are, all the little different bits of your characteristics of who you are, all the little bits of passion and purpose and heartfelt, soulfelt, like connection, all of it intertwines and all of it plays a part. And it's like, if we're missing one strand of that, my hair's doing the same thing, okay, so it looks like my hair too, Katie, like, it's almost like, so if we're missing one piece of that thread, of that cotton or that clothing or that fabric or whatever we're using to intertwine those clothes, the threads, if we're missing one, like the whole thing unravels. And the whole thing, there's almost two twists on this. At one point it's like the whole thing unravels and comes down and unravels and like undoes, and it's like, oh my god, and it could be perceived, and then I'm getting like perception stuff now. It's like it could unravel, it's like life, and it could unravel and all be like really perceived as really negative, like everything's fallen apart, you know, like you have a knitted shirt. This one actually it's so funny, has a hole, so like a knitted shirt like this, like it's been unraveling for a while, and it's going to continue to keep unraveling and unraveling unless it's sewed back up or it's healed or it's given attention, if that makes sense. And it's almost like that's one perception or way that you could perceive it as, you know, that one thread that keeps on coming undone, and over time, yep, it is going to dismantle and it's all going to fall apart. But that then means when this cardigan falls apart, which it's ready to go, it's ready for a different life, it will unravel, and that makes space for a new cardigan. What a funny way to describe it. But it's almost like that makes space to come in for you to create a new cardigan for your life. I hope that makes sense of some sort. And it's the same with our life. If all those threads untwined, or if one of those floaty threads like my hair and like on the cactus here, like these threads that intertwine our life, our being, our emotions, our healing, who we are, our passion, our purpose on the earth, or our fucking cardigan, it's like it can unravel, but it doesn't always have to be as we perceive it as being bad, because the cardigan's all unraveled and it's all fallen to pieces, because it's almost like that death and rebirth. It's like we're fallen to pieces, but sometimes it's the beauty of falling to pieces so that we can recreate that new being, that new us, that new version of self. And I suppose this is even talking into myself personally. Yes, David, kia ora, how are you? It is like my own self. I was just talking to my mentor today, because I'm going through some different shifts in my business and who I am, and looking at this part-time job and all of these different things, and I'm going, yeah, but normally I would overwork myself and all these things. And we were talking about, yeah, but I'm not that version of myself that I used to be. I used to overwork and I used to do this and blah blah blah, but I'm in a different casing of who I am and moving through. And it's the same with the unraveling of your cardigan. So it's like, can you see the perception of whatever is your presentness or your consciousness or whatever is right now in your reality? And can you see the different perceptions of your situation, who you are, how your cardigan of life is unraveling, and that sometimes it looks so negative and it looks so and it looks like, oh my god, like this fucking cardigan, like, oh my god, my armpit's gonna be, it's on my shoulder I think, but my shoulder's gonna be so cold, now I've got, it's so negative because I've got to buy a new cardigan, or I've got to fix it, but then when we get through and then we get the new cardigan and get a flashy cardigan, and then we're like, oh my god, I know why, because that old one, it just didn't fit anymore. It just didn't fit. It was stretched, it was oversized, it was too tight, and it lost colour, and it was all faded, and it was threading and falling to bits, and blah blah blah. The reason being because it doesn't fit who I am anymore. Doesn't fit who I am. It's time to move forward into, like, when we grow and everything feels out of alignment. That's what I'm hearing now. It's like when we grow and everything grows out of alignment, but we're growing into alignment, if that makes sense. And everything almost needs to recalibrate and catch up to us, if that makes sense. It's kind of like one of those spaces of like realigning, even though because how we've been growing out of alignment with other things, but we're growing into our own proper purpose, passion, like heart, soul alignment, but everything else feels unaligned, and so we kind of feel out of whack, or we feel combobulated, or we feel like, oh, I don't fit in anymore, no one relates to me, I can't communicate with anyone, I don't have any friends or family, and I'm losing everyone, and everyone thinks I'm crazy, and all of these things. It's like because you're moving out of alignment with all of those things that were not in alignment with your true soul path, and now you're moving into this alignment of your soul heart alignment, and so everything is like rejigging, if that makes sense. This card just fell out. 11, deep quiet, meditation and stillness. So I still feel like this one's for you today, Katie. Deep quiet, meditation and stillness, clarity. So it might sound cliche, but it's almost like, have you had still time to yourself? How can you bring more still time to yourself at the moment? And even if it's sitting, like I'm getting the inch of like sitting still, even watching candlelight, or watching the fire burn, or watching the waves crash on the beach, or watching the rain go down the gutter, like watching nature, watching flame, watching water, whatever you feel drawn to, even that stillness of just sitting there and being with that thing of nature. Or it could be that you're in the shower and you're having a shower and you're just watching the drips of water down your body in front of you in a form of stillness, of meditation, and not doing anything, just watching, just sitting with the energy, sitting with the feeling of it, When deep quiet appears, it is a message from the cosmos calling you to stillness, to step outside the concerns of your everyday life. This does not mean to slow down and take a breath, although that is a good start. The cosmos is inviting you to go deep, to that place where the noise stops. And there is only the vast emptiness of inner space. When we don't respond to the invitation offered by deep quiet, life can stop us in our tracks with an illness or a crisis. Listen to the still, small voice. Remember that you want to catch spirit on a whisper, not a shout. And it is only human to argue that you are too busy to slow down. Does that one sound familiar? Or the money for a retreat. Oh, sorry, wrong one. And it is only human to argue that you are too busy to slow down, that you don't have the time, the inclination, or the money for a retreat. Do not let any of these reasons get the better of you. Stop the world and enter the deep quiet before you come to a crashing halt. After you have said yes to this invitation, you will find that the world can get along quite well without the need for you to manage it. You will enjoy the freedom that comes with stillness, the clarity and spaciousness offered by the silence. Very powerful, Katie. David, are you still live with us? If you would still like a message, just give me a yes, still here. And if anyone else is joining us live and would like a intuitive message today, just pop a yes please Maddie into the comments and we will happily pull you one for today. That's interesting what that card also just said, because that was something that I was almost, that relates to what I was just saying with my past versions of myself in the past, overworking herself and crashing herself to the ground, and now mastering and learning that I know my edges. I know when I'm about to cross them. I know then when I'm on the edge. I know when I'm pushing it too far and I need to halt and bring it back in. I know how to fill my cup and overflow my cup, to self-care and nourish myself before I blow it all out and I crash and I burn for a few weeks at a time. And that takes practice, commitment, and it just takes a lot of getting back up and a lot of crashing and falling before we start to have it in our daily habit or routine. 54, the crossing, initiation. Sparks all over here, like, so there's obviously like a portal in someone, yourself or others, or all of us as one walking through a portal, but it's like the sparks is straight away what kind of came through is like the initiation, like actually like what I'm picturing right now is a welder, or like a, you know, like a metal machine when they like, and so I can describe it. And you're like, well, there's like one of those sandpaper things, I think it's called sandpaper or something, like a tool, a men's tool that goes round and round and round and round and round, and round, and you can put like a metal thing in it, you know, like it's a circle, and then you go, and there's like sparks like flying off it. Like that's what I'm just feeling right now around the word initiation. Like that's what I'm feeling in here, is like this initiation is flying sparks, and it's almost like it's almost like those sparks never end. It's like that, like you got your piece of metal and your roundy thing. I don't know what you call it. If someone's watching this or watches on the replay, feel free to tell me. But it's like, yeah, it's like the welder or the sandpaper wheel or whatever you want to call it. And the piece of metal is going in, or whatever is going into the edge of it, and it's like, and all the sparks are flying, but the sparks are never ending. Like you can see them almost like shooting stars, and that's the initiation. This is you coming into your magic, if that makes sense. Almost like swimming into your initiation of magic. And initiation is time, like where that initiation of when you actually meet, when it meets and and then almost like fireworks or an explosion, but it's like they're like shooting stars that last forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like I just want to keep on saying and ever and ever and ever. Alrighty, let's read from the book, hey? The crossing, rite of passage, initiation. You have come to stand on one side of a river. The opposite bank leads into the darkness of the eternal cave, where the old dies and then is born again. This is a place where time is forgotten, and the seasons cease their dance and stand still, as if in a temporary repose. You must cross the river now, honouring and respecting this transition, for it's time to say goodbye to your old ways of navigating your world. Don't be afraid. You've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. You're ready to let go of what doesn't serve you and all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. So I can feel this is like where it says you've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. It's almost like I do not know how to describe this. Shit, there's been a lot of stuff about babies and births and umbilical cords and stuff at the moment. Like a baby, you know, when you see on like video clips or like birthing things and stuff like that, when you see a baby that's born still in the amniotic sac, in the sac still, you know, and then often the doctor or midwife or whatever, when we break the sac and then the baby comes out of it, it's almost like you've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. Don't be afraid. You're ready to let go of what doesn't serve you and all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. It's almost like that barrier. It's like that breakthrough, death rebirth, in a sense. It's like the rebirth is here, like you're really ready, and everything is just about to. It was like forever and ever with those shooting stars of the sparks of the what I was describing before, yeah? Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the masks and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Step in the boat waiting for you. Let it carry you into the cave. Got the right card, yeah. Where the shadows are waiting to be illuminated so you can be born again into the world without denial or artifice. ARTIFICE. Making the crossing is a beautiful, powerful act of the highest love. Powerful, that one. Very, very powerful. Alrighty, one last call. If you are on live and you would like an intuitive message, just pop a yes please into the comments. Otherwise we will pull one more as for all of us, a divine message. Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. I feel like this picture just describes it all. You know, when you're like, you feel like going through the whirlwinds and the tides and the lows and the highs and the currents of like the ocean and the storms and then the sunlight and then the wind and the rain and it's like, can you trust the flow? It's almost like, can you trust the flow? Or maybe a reminder, if you're watching this today on the live or on the replay, do a hashtag replay if you are. It's almost like, can you just surrender a little more and trust? Stop trying to fucking control the storm. Because no matter how much you try and control the fucking storm, it ain't going to listen. It's going to flow through the waves and the ins and the outs as it goes. It's almost like the more you try and control, the more it's actually going to go the opposite way, if that makes sense. And I think this card's definitely talking to me as a part of this message, if that makes sense, because I have been needing to let go of a lot of sense to control. Not so much in my relationships anymore. I've healed and grown and expanded a lot in that recently, but at the moment within stuff with my business, within my programs, what I'm sharing, with what I'm guiding my clients and what I'm creating, I've been so in my masculine, like, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and this is how it's going to happen, and this is when it's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. So I've been trying to control. I've been trying to organize, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with organization as well. But we definitely have that flow, and it's like experiencing life as it comes. Like, can you have, I almost want to say, like, beautiful balance between that masculine and feminine energy and that flow of, like, so still be intentional. It's not like just lay back and let anything fucking happen and surrender. Like, yes, still have intention, creation, manifestation, visualization, still have desire of what you want and create what's in your being, if that makes sense. But when there's clear intuitive sign, or where there's such clarity, like, can you look wider into the messages or lessons or pathways that are opening for you rather than the pathways that you think that are closing for you, if that makes sense, yeah? Okay, let's read that from the book, and then we're going to jump off, hey? Drifter. What lights you up? It's not a very good light today, guys. Sorry. Where I'm sitting is not ideal. What lights you up? Experiencing life as it comes, seeking the essence but not knowing the form. The drifter invites you to step out of your to-do list and your ordinary routine to feel the breeze against your skin, calling you to follow the wind and explore life's opportunities. When the drifter appears, it's a sign that it's time to cut the mooring lines holding you to the dock. It's not important to know the destination before you set sail. It will become clear as you leave port. Do not wait for a map, as there are none to where you are desired to go. But be sure that you do have a compass to keep you true. Yours is your pure love and your intention to be free, even of your own beliefs and preconceptions. Few appreciate the energy of the drifter. Here, you might not seem to be doing anything worthwhile or meeting someone else's expectations, but you are the only one who understands that others are running full out on the hamster wheel and getting nowhere. Your laziness is an underappreciated virtue. You know that life will find you and bring you everything you require without your having to search for it, by simply being instead of frantic doing. Fuck me. Even as you let your mind wander, releasing it to go on a daily walkabout, call it back home regularly to deliver news from the cosmos. The drifter helps you find what you are looking for, even when you didn't think you were seeking anything. Is it alive or is it alive? It's alive, baby. Love yous all. Have a beautiful afternoon, and I'm going to eat lots of chocolate now. We're going to a like little nighttime chocolate cafe thing for my happy sport group tonight, so I'm super excited to eat lots of chocolate cake and have a hot chocolate or coffee. Love yous all and catch you again soon. I hope that some of these divine messages have supported and guided you today. Lots of love.